black for the white kids and too white for the blacks. From on the road to cracking. Now, we've all heard this phrase before, and we've also seen this meme. But what the hell does that even mean? Hi everyone, my name is Brittany, and if you're new here, welcome in, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for joining. I will say I was one of those kids who felt that phrase. It was very socially awkward. I liked anime, rock music. I'm Jamaican, so I didn't really know any classic staples of African American culture, like what were the classic hip-hop albums, why they were important, the iconic films like Love and Basketball, Baby Boy. I had never heard of or watched them, and it wasn't for lack of wanting to, but my family and I were simply fresh off the boat immigrants. Well, I less so because I came to the States when I was 4, but you know what I mean. My family wasn't integrated into or understood African American culture, and were even kind of anti-black towards African Americans, but we'll get to that in a moment. So firstly, I want to say that Earl Sweatshirt admitted to his line in Chum being cringy, calling it a very undercooked take from a young weird nigga. I agree. Earl was a member of the OG weird nigga group OFWGKTA, which stood for Odd Future, Wolfgang, Kill Them All. Notorious in the early 2010s for phrases like kill people, burn shit, fuck school, and the iconic Free Earl campaign because Earl was sent by his mother to a boarding school in Samoa because she was concerned about his drug use, the contents of his music.
Earl puts the ass in assassin and puts the pieces of decomposing bodies in plastic and puts them in a pan and mixes it up with scat and gobbles it like fat black bitches and catfish. It so happens that I'm so haphazardous, I'm keep a piece and put it on a hook and fucking cast the shit. I'm asking that you faggot rap actors take action and get a hall pass for this class act shit.
And the crowd he was associating with, which led her to believe he needed to focus on his well-being and stability away from the LA scene. Now, Earl was literally my favorite rapper in Odd Future, next to Haji Beats and his underrated group with Left Brain, Mellow Hype.
Constantly looking for where the trouble at. Bring my pieces to the pot, I better double back.
That's honestly a time for another video because they were literally my favorite. But the contents of Earl's music and Odd Future's music as a whole was very concerning. And I promise this will all come full circle. I'm literally unpacking the most visible weird nigga, too black for the white kids, too black for the whites type group. So please bear with me. It's going somewhere, I promise. Odd Future is known for their extremely violent and homophobic lyrics, often describing scenes of intense violence and even rape.
Victim, honey, you're my fifth one. Honey on that top. When I stuff you in my system, rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome. You got a fucking death wish, I'm a genie, it'll get done.
During their early years, as well as lyrics taking random shots at black women with lines from an older Tyler song, French, saying, got all the black bitches mad because my main bitch vanilla.
Now why am I in it?
And you could have did it.
See, I get wrong
because you never apologized.
And also making their white friends like Lucas Versetti say nigga all the time on cam and on songs like Trash Wang.
Spin my verse on go flame. Along the night shall go flame. Yo bitch shot you. It say my name. Sergeant Sam
I'm just trying to really get you in the headspace of the type of people who would say this type shit for real. Mind you, at the time, most of these people were teenagers and have since grown lyrically and as people. In more recent songs, Earl has shifted to saying things like, there's not a black woman I can't thank, but I can't really speak for Tyler, honestly. Like, I actually thought he had an Earl shift and was specifically looking for good media on how he grew. And then I saw this video.
Got Swifties all mad at me with their racist ass. Bringing up old lyrics. Bitch, go listen to Tron Cat. I don't give a fuck, ho. The fuck, bitch? They gonna bring out the old me.
Mind you, they were talking about these lyrics in tweets. Like, these are objectively horrible. Genuinely, when I was researching this video, I was 100% sure that Tyler had like a whole reckoning arc and like honestly just didn't really fuck with who his old persona was like that and like realized that that shit was weird, but he didn't. I'm actually shook. It's crazy because objectively like the shit's horrible, but I digress. My point is I came to realize that there's a specific type of people who think like this, both like the meme I mentioned and the phrase. It's usually people who are either being primed to assimilate, and hear me out. In my case, I grew up around majority Black people, including African Americans, but also just very immigrant communities of multi-gen Caribbeans and Latin Americans. A lot of people spoke in Ebonics or African American vernacular English. At home, I heard Jamaican patois, and when I was in kindergarten, my mom told me to stop speaking patois because my classmates couldn't understand me. So naturally, I was learning my speech patterns and vocabulary from the people who were around me, but my mom was absolutely not having it. She told me things like leave the street talk on the street. I wasn't allowed to fuck up any grammar. Like literally, I even had to make sure I was using my friend and I instead of my friend and me. And it's just interesting that she would say that because language is also very political in Jamaica. The dialect that majority Africans, mainly descendants of the Akan people on the island created, is not allowed to be taught in schools. It's believed the Jamaican dialect is a corruption of the English language, and the iconic Jamaican poet, folklorist, writer, educator Louise Bennett Coverley, better known by her stage name Miss Lou, is known for popularizing the Jamaican dialect globally and validating the use of the language for literary expression.
Them talking them for them language. So when me attack my language, I'ma say, your hand. I say, your hand. If you can Ken John Peel, you can say, your hand. All right. This long time, girl, me never see you. Come let me hold you. It is a long time. Come let me hold you. Peel it. Peel head, jump, come see them. Pick up the blossom, let me hold you. And girl, let me hold you.
So for me, it's very interesting because I had a Miss Lou book and it was Anansi the Spider, which is actually an Akan folklore. And it's very interesting because actually, now that I think about it, my mom wasn't the person who got me this book. I got this from probably another Jamaican family member or family friends for like Christmas or my birthday. And I remember being so excited to read it. And my mom actually wouldn't let me read it at the time because she was saying that it would like fuck up my English, like reading Jamaican patois in literature. Even with the rich history of our own language, some of my family members would make fun of African Americans for using words like funna, condemning it as exactly what they would do in our own school systems on our islands, a bastardization of the English language. So yeah, I was someone who was told I talk white and was called an oreo, but language is a part of the way we connect with each other. And if I'm speaking differently than my peers, especially while not having the cultural primer of having family who's more integrated into African American culture, yeah, it was a bit more of a hurdle to connect with some of my peers on certain things. And with whiteness being the dominant culture, I can see how it may be hard to find your way a bit if you have a similar background of being an immigrant, etc., and not really having an understanding of African American history and cultural references and cultural markers. Like honestly, it doesn't really offend me anyway now that I'm an adult, nor do I feel less Black or like I had to fight for my life for my Blackness growing up. Like, did some people think I was a little strange? For sure. But with Black people, it's really all love at the end of the day, and it honestly is really not that serious or detrimental if other Black people are teasing you a little bit, because it's really just jokes. Like you kind of just have to let it be water off a duck's back, to be honest. Now with bougie uppity Blacks who be calling how other African Americans talk ghetto, you need to relax, bestie. And at the same time, I understand why people integrate with language, make their kids integrate and code switch. It's a survival tactic, I get it. But I also think we really need to be critical about having takes that alienate us from our community, because for real, at the end of the day, it really is just us. And little teasy comments comments like this should honestly simply be ignored because, as I like to say, we're living within these contradictions and there's more important things than you getting butthurt about being called an Oreo and low-key seeking white validation. Like, you hikey gotta unpack that. Anyways, that's my hot take of the day. You didn't die. Your oppressor at the end of the day is the white man, is these huge corporate CEOs who want to exploit your labor and pay you fucking scraps, except that your only value to these white people is your cheap labor, and that you need to unite with other African people because we have a common enemy and it's not each other and it's not the way that we speak. Especially when this is a colonial language at the end of the day. Yes, I'm going there. At the end of the day, it's fine. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you want more videos like this. And thank you for spending time watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoyed this little primer, my little hot take, little lukewarm take, to be honest. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you on the next video.